Hey everybody, I am Misty Buck, president of Missing Digital Marketing, and I'm taking our weekly Marketing Monday show live here on Instagram. Of course, we're going to make the replay available to you afterwards on all of our social media channels. So I'm going to give a few people a chance to join in here, and as they do that, I want to welcome you again to another awesome Marketing Monday. Today we're going to talk about why it's important to give before you get. So yes, we're in the season of gratitude and holidays and all those really fun things that are coming up. But when you're thinking about your marketing strategy, a lot of times in our businesses, especially now, right, when things are changing, we're starting to think about how we can get more business. How do I get things going for me when the economy seems to be changing? Prices are still rising and interest rates are going up. And it's a lot, if you're in business for yourself, it's a lot of different things to think about. So I definitely want to talk about today that give to get strategy. I want to share that with you. But first of all, I want to thank everybody who's joining us. Go ahead in the comments. Let me know where you're at today, and just say hi. Would love to say hi to you. And by the way, if there's any specific questions that you'd like answered today, I will try to get to those as well once we get through today's topic. So again, if you're joining, thank you for joining us. And I'm just going to go ahead and dive right in. So we got a few people here. Welcome everybody. Thank you for being here. So the give to get strategy. So basically what we want to do with that is start to think about what we are going to give to others, right? A lot of people, when they're doing selling, one of the top mistakes that they make is running around thinking what's in it for me. So every single step that you take, every single interaction that they have, they're wondering what's in it for me. So to me, I don't know if you've ever been in this situation, but I've been at networking events before and I'm meeting people and they will be super aggressive with, hey, like, for example, next time you're ready to buy a car, come see me. I saw what you drove in on. You wouldn't believe the stuff that people would say to you. And to me, they're going about building that relationship all wrong. So give to get is about, again, building that relationship, which I think is one of the number one rules, particularly in digital marketing. And in today's world, we have the capability to reach more people than ever. So as you're doing that, it's not just about the numbers. It's not just about the likes. It's not just about the comments. It's about building those relationships. So whether you're watching this live or not, whether you're interacting with this video live or not, what's happening is I'm hoping to give you information today that you're going to be able to take and use. And that's it, right? So that's what we're here for. So the first thing I want you to think about when you're doing your give to get strategy is, number one, is how can you give people, what information can you give people? What tips can you give people? What resources can you give people that will really help them out? Again, this is not like I'm going to give you a tip and then now you're going to get 99 sales emails from me. That's not what this is, right? So Russell Simmons, if you know who he is, he has this saying that I love, and that is that, oh my gosh, I just forgot it for a second. Oh, give until they can't live without you. And I love that, right? So it means be in service and help people, because eventually they're going to want to do business with you because they're going to know that you're genuine and you have already helped them. So they're going to feel like, okay, I'm comfortable investing in this person's services because they've already built trust with me, because they've already given me so much awesome information. And now I trust them enough to share those precious dollars of mine and do business with them. So is this making sense? Okay, awesome. So again, when you're building this, think about what is it that your clients and your customers might need. What information are they after, right? What could really help solve problems for them and their lives? So think about those things, and then think about how do you do that in a way that is coming from your heart, right? So I like to talk a lot about heart-centered marketing strategies. And all that means is your message connected to your authentic way of doing business and your authentic self. And what I mean by that is a lot of times we get lost in the messages of what, again, we're focused on sales, and we move away from that authenticity piece. We move away from, does this feel aligned with who I am and or what my business is? Okay, so thinking again about those heart-centered messages. Is this aligned? Is this authentic? Because believe it or not, people can feed off of that energy, right? I mean, just think about it. How many times have you had conversations with people or brands or businesses and you're like, that's definitely inauthentic. Like that just feels off, right? People pick up on that, those kind of vibes. So, and when you're doing your give to get strategy, think about what is authentic to me. So number one, you're going to think about what is it that my clients, my customers, and the people that I want to help, what is it that they need? And then number two is, how can I do that in a way and provide information that is heart-centered to me, that is authentic to me, that is aligned with my brand? Because when you do that, again, people pick up on that, and then you're not selling at all because you're just having a conversation about something that they can tell that you're passionate about, right? And who wouldn't want to do business with somebody that's passionate about their service? So again, thank you for everybody. We still got some people joining. Thank you for that. You have any questions on any of this, feel free to put them in the comments, or of course you can always DM me later and I will be happy to hop on a call with you or have a quick chat with you about any of this. So all right, so we have a couple tips so far, right? You're going to think about what your audience needs and then also think about what you align with and be really authentic with that. Also, when you're doing give to get, remember, we're going to go back to thinking about the relationship that you're building. So it can get exhausting to feel like you're always giving and you're not receiving so much in your business and sales. Focus on the fact that you, again, are building relationships. You're building trust. Let that be the point of investment for you when you're putting out all this information. Now, of course, you're not going to go and you're not going to give out information that gives away all your secret sauce, right? And all the way that you do things, because then, yeah, maybe the person doesn't need to hire you. But if you give enough information that they feel that they, again, leaves them wanting more information, that builds that authority of trust with you, that's there, you're the leader, you're top of mind in your category for them, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that, and you can't go wrong, because whether they need your service or somebody else is going to need your service, you're going to be top of mind for that service, right? Making sense so far? All right. And so when you're building the relationship and you're thinking about the messages that you're going to share and how you're going to do that, what I would encourage you to do is share that information regularly. So I recently had a conversation with an individual who's used to be top on Google, right? Like this person's practice, I don't want to give away too many specifics, but this person's practice used to be on the top of Google. They were constantly getting leads from Google, people just finding them organically when they were searching for that specific service. And what happened is this person never maintained that. They don't even know how they got on the top of Google in the first place. And so they fell off, right? Algorithms change, competitors come in. This is the kind of stuff that happens in the world of digital marketing. And so she stopped receiving those leads. And so this person called me, Misty, what do I do? I'm not bringing in any new business. Like this lead source seems to have completely and disappeared. And so part of the thing with that is that, again, you want to control your message. You don't want to leave it up to the networks and you don't want to leave it up to the algorithms to get that out there for you. You want to be in control of that. So for her particular audience, I suggested that she get on LinkedIn, which she already was, but she wasn't using it. So I told her, get on LinkedIn, get on there every single day, and I want you to post some kind of tip or article, something related to what it is that you do for a living and what your service is, all right? And so by doing that, two things are going to happen. One is you're going to remind people what it is that you do, and you're going to become top of mind, because if you go like a ghost on your social media or your digital marketing platforms, people might think, hi, Danny. People might think that you are, no longer in existence. And also we're really busy and we're super distracted. So if there's somebody that offers the same service that you do and they're posting regularly on social media, guess who I'm going to probably remember? The person posting regularly on social media, because that's just the way our human brains work, right? Especially when we're as distracted as we are. So it's going to help by posting regularly and posting those tips regularly. I was like, this is going to help you stay top of mind and remind people what it is that you do. Number two, is going to help you build trust, because you're building an authority in a niche that is very specific. So when people need your service, they're going to say, okay, this person really knows what they're doing because she's able to share daily tips. And then three, if those daily tips are helpful, again, it's going to be like, oh, this is someone that I trust because she is sharing those tips that matter to me and that she's willing to give out this information. So I know if she's willing to just give out this information on a daily basis, that one, she knows what she's doing, and two, she's going to be really willing to help me out too, right? So those are just a few ways to think about that. Again, if you're having some blocks around how much information should I share, how many tips do I share, and how often? If you have any questions about this, just drop them in the comments. I have one more tip for you around this strategy, and then I'm going to answer some questions if there are any. So the last tip that I have for you around this is, oh, and by the way, I told her she's still in the middle of doing this experiment, but I've seen her post every day and she's getting interactions. And I told her to let me know in about a month how it goes. The other piece of that to keep in mind is if you start posting your tips and people aren't responding and you're not getting comments and you're not getting likes, be patient and just keep going anyway, because sometimes people won't interact with your post. And this has happened to me so many times. Somebody will call me and I had no idea they were even seeing what I was putting out there. But they'll say, hey, Misty, for example, I saw your post on LinkedIn. I remembered that you do XYZ. I'm actually in the need for X. Is that something that we could talk about? And that has turned into business for me. And that wasn't necessarily somebody that reshared my post, that commented on my post, that liked my post. They just saw it and it reminded them of what I did, and that at a time when they had a need, and they reached out to me and I got the business. So again, don't get frustrated. Stay patient with that process and continue to share, right? And keep in mind that, again, even if people aren't interacting, they're watching, they're absorbing, you're becoming top of mind, and you're building that relationship with them. So, and don't be afraid of repeating things too. That gets, a lot of people are like, oh, I've already said this. Say that you can say the same thing, but say it in a different way. Sometimes saying it in a different way will all of a sudden make the light bulb go off. Oh, I didn't know that you did that. Anyway, that's a whole different conversation. So the last tip that I'm going to give you around this give to get policy is try this strategy. And this was reminded to me today by one of my team members, actually, Kristen Yorka. So shout out to you, Kristen, who is an amazing member of my team, but also in marketing and just really, really good at what she does. So Kristen reminded me of this strategy. So one way to do this is, because people might say to me now, okay, Misty, I'm going to start giving out all these tips, but at what point do I get business, right? At what point do I build that relationship? So one strategy that I would say to do that is to do 3 gives. So give out 3 pieces of information. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or however your calendar works. And then on the 4th day, include an ask, right? So 3 gives and an ask. Here's 3 pieces of information and then 1 ask. So if you want to, for example, download my ebook, or you want to schedule a free consultation with me, or whatever your ask is, put that, try that 3 gives and 1 ask. You may find a different formula that works better for you, but try that one out. 3 gives and an ask. And also when you're doing your post where you're giving out information, I would always suggest, even if it's not the main part of your post, and really it shouldn't be, I would always suggest putting at the bottom somewhere in there your contact information, in case somebody does ring a bell for you and they want to reach out for you. Give them some kind of call to action and a way to reach you in every single post that you are giving out. So that would be my tip. My tip for today is to really focus on the give to get strategy. Focus less on the sale, in other words, and more on building relationships by becoming trusted and just really from your heart helping people with the things that you are passionate about and with the services that you are offering. Because a lot of times we know so much about our business and our industry, but those little things that we take for granted because we do it every day are things that other people don't already know or they don't already think about. And those are great places to start with your gives, right? Start thinking about little tips, right? If you're in health insurance, for example, I had a conversation this morning with somebody who's health insurance, me as the client, and she was reminding me of filing deadlines. So stuff like that like we're so busy that we're not thinking of, put that kind of information out there and see how you can, again, continue to build those relationships. So I will go ahead and I don't see any questions for today, but if you have any questions, again, I always invite you to just DM me or reach out to me on our website, whatever's easier for you. And I'm happy to answer those questions for you. And of course, we offer full marketing services and strategy for you. And we also can do coaching for you around your specific heart-centered and authentic strategy. So Danielle, I see you're asking about hashtags. Is there something specific about hashtags that you're asking for and like a specific network? Because it's a little bit different for each network. I think there's a delay with the comments, so I'll give a second and see if that comes out. But when you're researching hashtags, I would say definitely research it. Don't use the same ones over and over again. You don't need to overload with 30 hashtags. I would say, for example, if you're on Instagram, one of the ways that the Instagram algorithm works, by the way, is let's say your post is about, I don't know, let's just say marketing tips, right? So in the beginning of the post, I'm going to have marketing tips like in the beginning of my post, because now that tells Instagram, instead of burying it down, you put the topic sooner in your caption, sooner than later, because then Instagram knows that's what your post is about, number one. And then when you're considering your hashtags, research hashtags that are related to that specific topic. So for instance, I might do marketing coach. I might do Instagram growth tips, whatever it is that's going to be related to that specific post. I might do that in for the community. Let's say I want to be seen more in Miami. I'm going to do more hashtags related around Miami or specific neighborhoods in Miami. So really think about what your post is about and where you want to be seen, and then pick probably 3 to 5 hashtags per post. And again, research them and see where it is that you want to be seen. So I see Danielle asking about skating and filming. I mean, you can look up hashtags though. What I would say to do is a couple things. I would say if you have a super niche market, is look up your competitors or people that are like you. Look up accounts like that. See what kind of hashtags they're using. And then also research your own hashtags. Like, what would you use for a search in Instagram, and see what hashtags come up. But then research those hashtags, right? See what kind of posts are associated with them, because sometimes the things that you think in your mind you're thinking of the hashtag with could actually be for something completely different that maybe you do or don't want to be seen for. So use that precious hashtag space. There's not a really specific hack for that, other than just do your research, don't overload it, and just be as specific as possible, but not so specific that it's like fewer than 100 posts, right? Like you want that number to be a little bit bigger. You don't want millions, because then you're going to get buried, and you don't want like 100, fewer than 100, because then you're not going to really get seen. But again, if your market's really specific, if they have a lower reach, that might not be a bad thing, because that means you're going to actually reach your target market and your target audience. So just play with it and see. I don't see other questions here. We're just over 20 minutes on the broadcast today, so I don't want to keep you all too long. I'm going to go ahead and sign off. Again, any other questions, you want to hop on a consulting call, you want to, whatever we can do for you, just let us know. We are here for you at Miss Inc. And I will see you guys next week. We're going to try and do this every Monday. So if you have a topic in mind that you want us to talk about, just send that over to, and we will be happy to do that. And I hope everyone has a beautiful rest of your Monday, and we will see you soon if we don't talk before then. Have a good one, everybody.